Now let's create the text for the lot bearing and distance. So we invoke again AutoCAD to create a single line text, this time by typing DT on our keyboards. Okay, so DT is the shortcut key for single line text. And after typing DT, hit enter. And before we type our text, let's just look at the features that are already set for us. Okay, since we set our text style here as 2.5 mm -100 lat, the one that we created a while ago. So it's already set for us. We have a text style with a font of Swiss and then a text height of 250, and it's not annotative. I repeat, please don't use annotative yet unless we are ready for scaling and onto proper labeling and dimensioning. So leave annotative out of the picture first and don't use it first. And lastly, our justification is set to the left orientation. So since we are set to the left, AutoCAD asks or prompts you to specify start point of text. So that's to the left. Now, let's try to change justification. So click on justify here on your command prompt. And then you have several options to justify your text. We cannot go through all of them. So let's just select maybe center. Okay, just to look at the difference of these justifications. So let's select center, and then AutoCAD asks you to specify, of course, the center point, and let's use this as our center point, and then click, and then specify rotation angle of text. Of course, we want it towards the east, so just accept the angle 0, and then enter. Just type any text. Okay, so for me, I'll just type maybe H, and you'd notice that this was centered, or I mean the text was centered onto the point that we click as the center of the text. So that's just how the justification for text works. So just press escape and then reinvoke AutoCAD to do the single line text. So DT, enter, and then change the justification, and this time choose left, so type L. Okay, so L, enter, and then start point of text. Let's center it here on our lot plan. Click anywhere inside your lot plan, so I click here, then specify rotation. Of course, I want it to be at 0 angle, then enter, and let's type the lot bearing and distance of our lot plan. So line 1, we have south 28 degrees 50 minutes east as our bearing. So let's type that in AutoCAD. So south 28 degrees. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of using the text editor tab for single line text. So we use the Unicode shortcut for degrees in our keyboards by pressing Alt 0176 on our number pads. So I repeat, Alt 0176 and 50 minutes east, and then let's create some space of at least 5 spaces. 1 2 3 4 5, and then 7.89 small letter 4 meters. So let's just provide some space there, and let's just provide maybe spaces for our numbers also. So south 28 degrees 50 minutes east, so that's our entry, and then enter. For the second line, so we have here south space 61 Alt 0176. Make sure that you type the number quickly, and then 10 minutes west, then 1 2 3 4 5. This must be 5.97 space meters. Then enter again, and then do the same for the rest. And after typing the last entry, just click outside the text lines to accept our text, and then press escape. So we have line 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and 7 to 1. And position them to their corresponding lines. So this one is for the line 1 to 2. So click and then type M to move. So M, enter, and then click it again, and then drag it towards its location. So before moving the others to their respective locations, let's first appropriately rotate this one so that it will be aligned towards the direction of line 1 to 2. So select and then type RO for rotate. Okay, so RO to rotate the object. So RO and then enter. It asks you to specify the base point, and we want it nearest to the left part. Okay, so this will be our pivot for rotating the text. So I'll click here just near the lower leftmost part of the text. So click, and then it asks you to specify rotation angle or copy or reference, or just accept 0 0. Of course we want a different angle, so just drag your cursor towards the right and then zoom out a little so that we could eyeball the alignment of our text in relation to line 1 2. So if it's perfect, just click and we have it almost aligned to the line 1 2, and just move it so that it's centered on our line 1 2. Again, not too close, since this is 2.5 millimeters when printed. I guess this distance is almost good. And let's position also the other text, and let's move on with the second text. So let's select this one. So M again, so enter and click the text as our base point, and then drag it towards this area close to its final location, and select it again. So click and then type RO to rotate. Okay, and this time, instead of using the leftmost part as our base point for rotating this text, let's try to use point 3. Okay, so we click on this end point for at point 3 of our knot line. So click, and then specify rotation angle or copy or reference. Of course, we type R for reference. Okay, so R and then enter. Now AutoCAD prompts you to specify the reference angle. So 0 0 is good because that's towards the east, and we want that to be our starting point in rotating our text. So just accept that, enter, and then specify new angle. You just drag, okay, from the initial base point that we have selected, we drag our cursor towards point 2. Okay, so until endpoint appears, snap to that endpoint. So click. So we are assured that this line is perfectly aligned to line 2 3. Okay, albeit it has a far distance from the line, we just move it. So M, enter, then just move it just so. And then for the rest, let's move and then rotate them also. So select on the text for line 3 to 4. So move, enter, and then click, and then drag it towards its location, and then click. Okay, and then select it again to rotate. So RO, enter, and then for the base point, let's try using again this leftmost part. Okay, so let's select this one, and then specify rotation angle, let's type directly this angle. Okay, so we type south 87 degrees, so D for degrees, 15 minutes west. Okay, so we type that as our angle and then enter. So our text rotated awkwardly because, I repeat, the rotation for angles by default in AutoCAD is counterclockwise. Okay, so from east to north to west, so it rotated in that particular manner. But don't worry, for as long as you are using full version of AutoCAD, we could correct this. Okay, so just select this one and then go to Express Tools. So on your ribbon, click on Express Tools, and then under here, under Text panel, we have Modify Text. Okay, and then, oh, by the way, we can also convert our single line text to multi-line text, but just do that on your pastime or free time. And our concern now is regarding this awkward looking, or I mean unreadable text. Okay, by the way, in our convention of proper labeling and dimensioning, all text must be able to be read from the bottom of the paper and at the right side of the paper. Okay, I repeat, the convention for labeling and dimensioning is that all text or dimensions must be able to be read from the bottom of the paper and at the right of the paper. So this case of our text cannot be read when we are at the bottom, when we are at the bottom of the paper, or even if we are at the right. But we could read this when we are at the top or left part of the paper, but that's not the convention of proper labeling and dimensioning. So we have to correct this, okay, appropriately. So we use the Express tool, we go to Modify Text, click on the drop down arrow, and then we have Rotate. Okay, this is not actually a rotate command, this will just correct the orientation. So its exact text is, exact command is T orient. Okay, so let's just select it, so click, and then on the command prompt, it prompts you to specify new absolute rotation, or you have there a default most readable. So let's use the default, which is most readable, by just hitting enter. So hit enter, and there it corrected the orientation of your text. Okay, and let's just position it towards almost the center of the line 3-4, and there we have the corrected oriented text. And do the same for the rest. Choose any method you may wish to move and then rotate them accordingly to fill all the remaining lines for our text. And when you completed your drawings, don't forget to save them. So Ctrl S.